that mean the world to me.
Yeah. So what does fathers stand for?
The Fathers, it's an acronym that stands for focusing attention towards helping enrich relationships spiritually.
Oh, okay, okay. And how did you come up with that name?
Uh, I initially I just was thinking about being a good parent to my oldest daughter,
Okay.
and I was thinking about ways to do that, and the Father's thing came to me, and the acronym just came out of nowhere, just fit. In order to be a good father, you got to grow spiritually first.
Yeah.
So that's where it came from.
Okay. So when you say spiritually, so are you Christian? Do you go to church?
I My whole life I grew up Christian.
Okay.
And later on in life, I'm still my base is Christian base. I go by all the Christian principles. I believe in Jesus. I believe in God, and I go strictly by the principles, But I don't too much subscribe to going to a lot of these churches because of how I feel about what they're not doing for the community, how they're not building up the community.
Yeah.
So I'm just taking that approach and the principles they use and going out into the community and using them the same way Jesus did when he was walking.
You're right. You're right. You're right. And that's also, I like that you say that. That's going to lead to another one of my major segments I'm working on. And hopefully we can touch bases back on the church. Because here in Memphis, that when you say that, that actually touched me because when I do my research and I'm moving around and I'm going to all these different churches and places, and I'm noticing the same thing, a lot of them aren't doing what they're supposed to do. Now, they're receiving plenty, but they're not doing what they're supposed to do in the community. So hopefully we can touch bases right back on that because that's a subject that I really want to get on in the near future.
I'm open for that because that's major for me.
Yeah.
That's major for me.
So I know you stated that you started the business because of your daughter.
Right.
And
well, not actually, but they go along with it.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I was in prison.
Okay.
I went to federal prison, and leading up to that time, I probably had missed 5 or 6 years out of my daughter's life. She was 9 at the time when I went.
Okay.
And I stayed in for 5 years.
Okay.
So during that time, one of my best friends, like my brother, growing up, he was coaching middle school basketball. Mm-hmm. He ended up coming down with cancer, with colon cancer, at a young age. But his teams was good. They was winning. That's kind of like the story of Penny Hardaway, how he got back into coaching, and all of us kind of grew up together. Okay. So while I was in prison, me and him used to talk on the phone. Okay. So he's like, man, I got these kids over here. What you gonna do when you get out? Yeah. And it kind of fell in line where I was already thinking about me and my daughter not being there for my daughter like I was supposed to. Mm-hmm. And him asking me what I wanted to do kind of fell right in line together, kind of like with the acronym.
So even before you got out of prison, you knew that you wanted to fix things between you and your daughter.
Oh yeah, the concept came because of that, because of me and my daughter relationship, and I actually wrote this business plan out. I typed it up on an old typewriter in prison. Mm-hmm. About 13 pages from the concept, the organization concept, the market, and all that stuff, and I put it together. And while I was doing that, I ended up finding out that it was like 6,000 cases of delinquent child support cases in Shelby County, and it was like $140-some million. So I'm like, if I could just get to them 6,000 people to change the way they interact with their kids, then I could change possibly the whole community around here. So it kind of started off small, but when I started thinking about what we missing and the reason why I was in the position I was in, what did I miss growing up? Yeah. And it all kind of came together, and I was like, man, I see the missing that. Yeah. So it just started to grow from there.
But now you say or at the time we were 6 million?
No, it was 6,000 cases.
6,000 cases. And how much?
Delinquent child support, and it was like $143 million.
$140 million.
Yep.
Million.
Yeah, for 140, that was like 7, 8 years.
So basically what you're saying is we have a lot of men out here who are throwing out seeds but not paying dues.
Oh, most definitely. And me raise my hand and be the first to say I was one of them dudes. Yeah. When you grow up spiritually, when you start understanding who you are and understand, who the creator is, then you start accepting responsibilities for what you here for.
Because one thing I've learned, kids do not ask to be born.
No.
They don't ask to be given a name. They don't ask to. They're not saying, "Hey, have me, take care of me," you know. And it's our responsibility as mothers, as fathers, men and women, to take care of what we've done. And I think that's what's wrong with even society now. Many of us do not have that father figure. Many of us do not have that mother. Now, 99% of the time we have our mothers, but the fathers, they're gone. They're missing in action.
Right.
And that's something that can be fixed. We have to stop living in this trend. Right now, it's a trend of circle where even when you're going to court and you're trying to fix things, even the men that want to do something, it's hard for them because there are so many men that didn't do what they're supposed to do.
Right.
You know, and it's hard. And I get where you're coming from, but you are correct. We can change things one step at a time. And using your organization, stepping out on faith and moving forward, I think that we can do that.
Oh, yeah.
I think. So you're married, correct?
Yes, sir.
So how long you been married?
Now it'll be 3 years in June.
Okay, how did you all meet?
I've been knowing my wife since I was probably 13.
Uh-huh.
I'm 43 now, so I've been knowing her like 30 years.
Uh-huh.
We kind of grew up in the same neighborhood, went to school together. I used to walk her home from school and told her books and I trying to talk to her and stuff. And, you know, things happened. We got grown and she went one way, I went the other. And then we just ran back into each other. Right in the nick of time, man. Right when I was growing up and maturing and needed that in my life, and she needed me in her life, and everything just seemed like when you trying to do the right thing, it just seemed like everything just fall in place. You don't have to work that hard for it; it just come to you.
Yeah. So how supportive is she in knowing that you're trying to build that relationship with your daughter? You're trying to build the business for other fathers. You know, how does that connect with her? How is she with you?
When I first came home from prison, I first started back talking to her, and I think I had started back working. And the first thing I did was say, I need you to read something for me. And it was the business plan. It was the whole father's business concept or whatever. And I think she told me it took her a couple of days to read, and she was like, I wonder why he want me to read this. And she finally read it. And ever since that day, she been rolling with me.
Yeah.
You know, matter of fact, when I first started, my daughter had moved to Florida when I first came home, and then they moved back up to Holly Springs, and she graduated high school in Holly Springs. But during that time, from her I think her 11th, 12th grade year, or her 12th grade year, that time my wife actually was driving to Holly Springs to get my daughter for me.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, so you got you a good one.
Oh yeah. She down for me.
Hey, and that's what we need. We need somebody that's gonna build us up to be better men and better fathers. You know, her showing that support, even reading what you wrote to make sure that things are correct. Going down there when you couldn't go get your daughter, she went down there for you. Hey, that's some mad support.
Yeah, you know, on my quest to grow, I learned that the most important thing on the planet we got is a black woman.
Yeah, hey, trust me, you're right.
You know, so in order for us to grow as a community, if we treat them the way they're supposed to be treated, and then they feel that and start acting in accordance with it, oh, the sky the limit.
Yeah.
You know, once I connected with my wife, everything opened up for me.
Yeah.
You know, and I guess that's when they say in the word, when you join with your wife, you become one. And then you can start doing stuff that you normally wouldn't be able to do alone.
Yeah.
It's both of y'all.
Hey.
And y'all working on the same accord.
Which is kind of crazy because I say that a lot. And I say it to a lot of people. And I don't think a lot of people grasp what I've been trying to say, that partnership, that teamwork, that doing things together. I mean, he didn't make us in ones. No. For every animal, there's a female, there's a male. In the sea, there's a male fish, female fish. And it's like he made us in pairs for a reason.
Yeah.
And I don't think people have ultimately grasped that concept. And I say it all the time.
And I think it got a lot to do with how, you know, my whole organization based off history. So
Okay.
I go back and revisit history a lot to see how our ancestors, our elders, and runners and forefathers, what they did before us, and how they stayed so unified, like Tulsa, Oklahoma, or Rosewood, or any of them places that were so unified. I just went back and studied them, and the common denominator was always the unit.
Yeah.
It was the family structure.
Yeah.
They was together. They was one. And if I got some kids and I see my neighbor kids not acting right, I got the right to go and make sure they doing what they supposed to do.
Yeah, well,
That's the community.
Well, yeah. Well, you know, we don't do that now.
Exactly.
I mean, you can barely whoop your child without having to go to prison. So, what's your take on what is or what makes a person a father?
A father is actually kind of simple. It's just a man who's willing to take care of his responsibility and his family. And a father also is a man who is willing to take care of another dad's kids that's not his own. Because a father is more than a dad. A father, like it said, our Father in heaven.
Yeah.
So our Father in heaven take care of everybody. So if you want to take on the responsibility of being a father, you got to be sure you want to take care of everybody, no matter who they are.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta live there. You can't just say I'm a father. You know, I used to be like, yeah, I do this, I can do that, but now you gotta actually live them characteristics. You know what I'm saying?
And a lot of people don't, and a lot of men don't understand that. I had a conversation not too long. I've had this conversation several times actually. That even if you can't give money to the mother of your children, you can still come get your children. You know, it's not always about money. Show that support. Pick your children up. Come get them.
Man,
Spend time with them.
The kid ain't even thinking about the money.
They're not thinking about it. They want to know, where is my dad? Where is my father?
And a lot of times where I think I made a mistake, it is, first of all, being inexperienced in my situation with my oldest child mother, and using my emotions to dictate how I was a father.
Yeah.
You know, me and her we kind of get along, but we don't really get along like that. So that was causing a lot of friction in my relationship with my daughter, which it shouldn't have. And I didn't know, because I didn't have no guide growing up to show me, like, if it don't work, you need to, you know, still step up and be there. Don't get involved in that emotional part of it, because you got a responsibility now. So I had to grow up and learn that, and even to this day, it's still kind of hard for me and my daughter to have the type of relationship I want. It's cool, but I want it to be a lot better. And I know I know I need to do a lot more to enhance our relationship. So it's cool. I'm working on it. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what part of being a father. You're attempting to build something with your children. You're attempting to be a better person. At least you are attempting. That's the key word. You're attempting to show action and to do more, when many don't even go that far. You know, I tell people all the time that your biological father is not always your father. You know, and in society today, your actual father is not the one that's raising you. I mean, I hate that that's society now, but that's society. But there are ways that in using your business and moving forward and trying to reach more men, we can stop that trend. Oh, yeah. We can get people, look, if you lay down, matter of fact, if you don't see yourself with this person, stop laying down with everybody you see.
Right.
And then we can eliminate that already. We can stop the trend now if we just stop.
Yeah, and then and another thing too, just say, I'm gonna use myself as an example. Me and my oldest child mother didn't work out, and she moved on with her life, got married or whatever. And I gotta say, I want to say thank you to the guys who played a father role in my daughter's life to get her to where she is now. And one of them, I think he's in Florida, named Chris, and my daughter's mother, her husband now, that she with now, both of them played a role in my daughter becoming a good person, the good person that she is now. She don't get in trouble. She do well in school. She actually in the Air Force right now. So they played a major role, and I gotta, shout them out for what they did, because that's big. Even if you're not with the lady and she with somebody else, develop a relationship with the other person that she with, so y'all can still raise their baby.
Correct. Now, but it's so hard to do that, and it's crazy because it shows your development. It shows what you've been trying and what you are doing. You know how hard it is for some men to acknowledge that this guy over here is actually doing what I should or should have done, and they don't want to acknowledge that. Rather than acknowledge that, they want to throw hate. They want to make things worse. And even women do the same thing.
Right.
So we don't just want to hit men, because women will do the same thing. It takes a real person, a real woman, a real man to accept, to actually point that out and say, hey, I thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you wasn't there, where will my child be right now?
Right.
And a lot of them don't see it that way. And it's good that you point that out. And that lets me know that you're using your business to point that out, to get other fathers who just got out of prison or who hasn't been in prison but trying to find places to stay or get to where they need to get to, and to understand what it actually means to be a father. So, I mean, I appreciate your business. I really do.
I appreciate it.
So, I want to jump back to the subject of child support. Now, that was a real high number. So I want to know, what's your take on child support?
I think child support is most definitely needed, because kids need stuff, But I think that having a third party involved that don't have nothing to do with the child is causing a problem. I think that it's hard for somebody to go get a money order and send it off, or get online and pay a bill for a child that you created. Yeah. When you could just go over to the child's house and take care of the child. Yeah. So when you put the third party in there, they don't have no feeling or no emotional ties to this child. So they don't care how it go. They'll lock you up, put it on your credit, stop you from getting a house, take your driver license, take your bill. If you cut her, they'll take your barber license, just for child support, when those are the things needed in order to care for the child. So that third party is kind of putting a strain on you being able to do what you're supposed to do. But a lot of women don't know that it's the system set up for us not to be able to be unified in the community. Take the men out, have the women working all the time and all that type of stuff, and then it's breaking up the family structure. So that third party ain't nobody, no kin. You don't even know that person. But they forcing you to take care of a child that they have no idea about. And I think that's kind of crazy, when y'all just should be two mature adults should be able to come together and take care of the child that they created. It's nobody else's responsibility but you two. But in the event that you're not doing what you're supposed to do, then yeah, you should have an order to be able to assist in the needs of the child, because the financial part is only assisting in the needs of the child. It's not really raising the child, because you ain't there. So you're still not actually doing your job. Yeah. You just actually support.
So what about the ones who do pay child support but still have a problem? Or what about the ones who, well, let's stick with that. What about the ones who pay child support but still not allowed or still can't be in their child life?
It's like,
now, why do you think that is separate?
I think, see, a lot of people don't realize, law enforcement is involved in the child support situation. So just say if you paying and your child mother still not allowing you visitation and all that, you have to still go through the court process. And a lot of us, our community, scared to even attempt to go through the court process, because now it's like you going to jail, or you having to go through this process of being with law enforcement when you only trying to take care of your child. So they don't even go back down there to fight for the visitation and all that and go through the court system, because it's like a trial almost. It's like you got a charge just to try to visit your child. when you just should be able to be two mature adults, come to an agreement on, you know, who had a child, when y'all had a child, and both of y'all raise the child together instead of putting people in your business that don't have no reason to be in it except monetary.
So now I know you was talking about the duties of a father. So what do you think are duties of being a father? What are some of those?
Like you say, it's a female and a male to every species, you know, and those genders have different characteristics. So your responsibility as a father is to pass on your characteristics, your knowledge. You know, to be there for your child when they need you for advice, you know, for whatever the case may be. Just your presence, you know what I'm saying? A big thing about being a father is just your presence, because it's security. It's a foundation that they can build upon. So really one of the main things is just being there.
Yeah.
You know, for when somebody come in, you grew up with your father.
Yeah.
You know, you can go in there and say, hey, Dad, can you show me how to change this tire? Or can you show me how to change this oil? Or, you know, I was talking to this girl, can you give me some advice on that? But some dudes never had that. Some dudes had to learn how to, never had a bike. I never had a bike growing up. You know what I'm saying? So when I got old enough to understand what a bike was, I ain't had nobody to, you know, come and share and buy me a bike. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in that type of mind state. And it's psychological when you don't have both parents in the house.
So do you think that could be one of the main reasons why we're in the situation we're in when it comes to fathers not doing what they're supposed to do? Child support is sky high. Women are just completely angry at many of these men. Like, do you think that stems from not having that father figure, or not having somebody to show them what to do and how to do it?
Yeah, the destruction of the black family, when they came with the desegregation thing, we gonna integrate y'all into being in the society with us. It kind of took away the family structure, the community. Everybody want to be a part of whatever everybody else going on instead of being a part of what we got going on. You know, back when Martin Luther King died here in like '68, I think it was like 19 black-owned gas stations here. There's not one now. You know what I'm saying? So we ain't actually went forward. We actually went backwards because the family structure been destroyed. It's not if I grew up where I don't have no structure, and then I'm a grown man who never learned how to have structure in his life, I'm gonna be destructive when I go out there.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I need the structure to be able to be they call it a productive citizen. You know, I need that structure. The father need to be there. You know, who gonna teach you how to do push-ups?
Yeah.
Not your mama.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She there for, you know, the girls. You know what I'm saying? Even though the father there for the girls as well, but I can't teach my daughter how to have menstruation, what to do when she having her cycle, and you know, things like that. So you need a mother for that.
Yeah.
And the mother can't go out there and help you change that tie. You need the father for that. So you need to be equally in order for the structure to be strong, like this house structure is.
Yeah. And it's mentioned that you say this house, because I noticed, I saw some of your setup that you're actually working on houses. Yeah. Now, what are you doing with that? What are these houses for?
My goal is to provide housing for responsible fathers.
Okay.
Guys who actually living out what it means to be a father. If you're gonna be responsible, if you're gonna be willing to take care of your kids and your family, then and you went through a situation where you can't get a house or you don't have nowhere to stay, we trying to provide that for them, because every man needs a foundation to build for his family to build off of. If you don't have that, what you got? If you got to go live with your girlfriend, then how much respect do she have for you really?
Yeah.
When you're not doing what you're supposed to do as a man.
Yeah.
As what you was created to do.
Okay.
Yeah, you supposed to be doing that, not her. So I think me being able to provide that foundation, and also ownership is better than renting.
Okay.
So if I provide these houses, provide ownership to these guys that's going to take more care of the community because they actually own the house in the community. Instead of renting the house, they don't really care. Nobody ain't coming to check on your stuff and all that. So they really driving the neighborhood down. But now we got ownership. I own this house, he own this house, he own this house. Now we looking out for each other because it's ours. Now we invested into ourselves instead of just rent.
Okay.
So that's my plan is get these dilapidated houses that's boarded up and all that stuff, refurbish them, and provide housing for fathers.
Okay.
They
I
have
see.
somewhere for their kids to grow up at, man, and you know, somewhere they can call their own.
Yeah. So when you talk about the fathers and stuff, now, is it true that you actually go around randomly giving out rewards to fathers?
Yeah. I started that I think about 3 years ago.
Uh-huh.
It's a stereotype associated with black men that we don't take care of our kids.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna break it.
Okay.
You know, I'm gonna show you that black men do take care of their kids.
Okay.
I don't do it like I don't tell people I'm gonna give you a award for taking care of kids. I randomly pick them out. I just look through social media, might be Instagram, might be Facebook, Twitter, see guys on there with their kids that's local or some of them even out of town. I see them interacting with their kids, going to dad-to-daughter dances and stuff like that. I'm gonna recognize you.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna let you know I'm gonna do it or nothing until I get the plaque done and it's ready to roll.
Yeah.
Call you, I got something for you.
Yeah.
And when I pop up on most of the guys I've done it with, I look back like maybe 3, 6 months, 9 months later and see how they done grown from the plaque.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's incredible. Just to acknowledge that they doing what they supposed to do.
Yeah, well, you know, sometimes that's all of, really if people don't understand that can motivate a man. When somebody, especially if it's a woman as well, when a man is recognized of knowing that they're doing a good job, even if it's from their kids, if it's from a family member, if it's from what you do or their spouse, that recognition, that acknowledgement, that encourages them to keep going and also can encourage them to even do more. And I also like the fact that you acknowledge, because I know you stated that you have your biological daughter and then you have your stepkids.
Right.
But I also like that you didn't say step. You acknowledge that these are your children, that all of them as a whole. And if more people would do that, people have to understand, like, even when I mentioned the fact that I took my daughter to the daddy-daughter dance, a lot of people actually thought that was my actual daughter. That's my goddaughter, but to me, that's my daughter.
Right.
You know, if she needs something, I'm there. If she needs me to do something, I'm there. That's because as a father myself, we have to make sure these kids have what they need to succeed. They need that parent there. They need that father figure there. They need that support. A lot of people don't understand that just being there, not just spending money.
Right.
I mean, we've already know that even being rich, these kids are still outrageous. And that's because money doesn't solve anything when you don't add it with the time and love and support. And so I like the fact that you acknowledge that these are your children and not trying to break it up. Oh, these are my god kids, or these are my step kids. These are my children. And I support them. I acknowledge them. And that takes a lot as a man to do that, because a lot of men won't do it or don't do it. And it takes a lot. So I wanted to jump back a few minutes wise when you were stating about having a man and a woman equally yoked.
Right.
I want to go back to that because I've been looking at the news and I normally don't even watch the news, but when I saw this, I just couldn't get it out of my head. So I wanted to bring up the subject about Dwayne Wade, basketball player. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure he's married to, is it Gabrielle?
Yeah.
So supposedly, which is true, that his son, 12 years old, is gay.
Right.
Also stated that his son knew that he was gay at, what was it, 3 years old?
3 years.
Now, I want to get back to that. I want to touch on that. Now, then another report came out that said that he's accepted and is okay with his 12-year-old child having that sex gender. Now, what do you think, I mean, from a standpoint from a father, his child being 12 years old, him having not only a biological mother, but a stepmother. I mean, what is your take on allowing that such of a big decision to say, okay, I'm gonna allow him to do that?
Well, like I stated in the beginning, I live my life on principle, on Christian principle.
Mm-hmm.
So if the Creator created you one way, you can't come out and say you feel like you something. The Creator don't make mistakes like that.
Okay.
So you can't just come out and say you want to be this or you want to be that. That's cool. Everybody want to do something.
Mm-hmm.
But what you was created to be is a creator of life.
Okay.
If you was born with what you got and she was born with what she got, and y'all come together and life is created from that bond, that's what you was created for. Now, when you step in the place of, in the Bible, it said, ye are all God's children of the Most High God. But when you take that and you put yourself above him, then that's wrong.
Mm.
And I think what they doing is wrong.
Mm.
I don't agree with that. I don't even agree with the fact that a 3-year-old can understand. A 3-year-old probably will. A 3-year-old boy can look at a Barbie doll and say, I want to be like that Barbie doll. But he don't understand yet that he's not a Barbie doll.
So what about being 12 years old? Do you still think, I mean, how is it that a 12-year-old boy can make a decision that early? And as a father, I say, okay. Now, I'm not saying not support your child. I'm not saying that.
Right.
But I'm saying when it comes to that sex gender change, do you think as a father he should step in and say, okay, son, I accept that you're gay. I accept that. But when it comes to the gender change, I want you to wait a little bit while and you make that decision on your own when you're grown.
Right.
So that's where I'm getting at.
Yeah, I don't think, I won't say that, I ain't gonna go as far as saying, I ain't gonna be personal about it. I ain't gonna go as far as saying he failing as a father or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But I think the fact that he accepting of that and not standing up for who he is, it should bring alarm to everybody. Mm-hmm. What community are you in where it's cool for you to say my 12-year-old son can turn into a girl, and you a man yourself? You know what you have. You know what you was created to do. You had him. You created him. So how you gonna take that away from him? That's a psychological issue. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You can't. It's like a woman raising a son, and the son is with her all the time. She teaching him how to cook and how to sew and bake and all that stuff, and then she goes as far as to saying, well, you might as well be a woman. That's wrong. You supposed to tell your kid exactly who they are and what they was created to be. If not, then you're not doing your job as a parent. You can't let society dictate how you raise your kids. You got to raise your kids right, and right is right, as wrong is wrong. You know, everybody on the planet knows 2 men can't create a baby. So why would you instill that in your child at that age? No, he gonna grow up confused now. No, you can't do that. That's actually scientifically wrong. That's actually like, as far as nature go, that's wrong. Even in the book, it tell you that in Sodom and Gomorrah what was going on and what happened. And it just wasn't that going on, but that was a big part of it. And that's where we at now. We are accepting of what the world doing. Nah, that ain't cool. It ain't never gonna be cool with me. I'm gonna stand on being a father. My organization stands for focusing attention toward helping enrich relationships spiritually. Spiritually, you know what's right. You can't go against the Creator like that.
Yeah, because and that's where I was trying to touch bases on. I don't think there's nothing wrong with his son, or even if he had a daughter. There's nothing wrong with if there's decided at a young age that they wanted to be gay. I just the where I was getting at was, how is it that you can agree for a 12-year-old
to change a name and
to do that whole entire
the
change
whole entire
at
change.
12? Because even what was that Kardashian guy? He decided to get his sex change, and right after that, he said, he came out and said he wished he never did it. That's because we make a decision off of society and hoping that society will accept, rather than just like you said, raise your child to the best of your knowledge.
Right.
And at 12 years old, even if that's something he wanted to do, me personally, I would have stated that when you're 18, you can make that decision.
I appreciate you for getting to that point right there, because I was just about to say, would you let your 12-year-old child come in the house smoking cigarettes? You know what I'm saying? Or drinking beer, or smoking weed, or anything that a grown person do? No, you're going to tell your child the proper thing to do at that age. You're gonna raise them right according to your knowledge.
Now, do you think that it's because of his fame and where he's at that he's able to use that platform, and his child is able to make those decisions because of who he is and who the stepmother is?
Right. It's not like no restrictions on that. It's like they just freely living. And it ain't nothing. I don't have nothing against the community, the LGBT community, or whatever. I don't have nothing against. I got family that's homosexual. I got friends that's probably homosexual or whatever, and I don't have nothing against them. We all people at the end of the day.
You're right. You're correct.
The consequences of your actions is yours. So
Yeah.
whatever you decide to do, you got to deal with it.
Yeah.
It's not for me, but when you in my car, I got to deal with the consequences of your actions. So I need to be raising you according to that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna put my child out there in harm's way like that for all the backlash, all the slander. He too young for that. You know what I'm saying? Just like I wouldn't let him sit on TV or on social media smoking weed, because I know backlash come with that, and it's not the right thing to do. So you need to be more. In my situation, I feel like he should be more of a man, and more of a father figure. Like, if that's what you decide to do, that's fine. But when you get to the proper age to make a life-altering decision like that, then that's what you do. But at this time, it's not the right time for you to be making that type of decision.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how I feel. I ain't finna.
Now, let's make sure we get it correct. Now, we have nothing against the LGBT community.
No.
We're only talking about the fact that as a father, and that's our subject of the day, we're talking about fathers, and as a father, to make a decision at the age of 12 should have not been a yes.
No, there's no way, man. There's no way that should have been even considered. Because when we created you and gave birth to you, we named you. His name was actually Zion, I think. That's a name that come out the book. And you disrespect it like that and just, I don't agree with that. I don't care who he is. I ain't gonna never agree with that.
From my understanding, the biological mother disagrees with
She
it.
most definitely, from what I've researched on the subject, she most definitely disagree with it. And I think her and the wife don't kind of get along and all that type of stuff too. So as a matter of fact, I think he put a restraining order on his ex-wife so she couldn't visit and all that stuff. So I don't know what's actually going on, but I know at one time he did do that. You know what I'm saying? Kept her away from the kids and all this stuff, and she don't agree with that. She said, as a matter of fact, I just read probably yesterday where she said the kid is always gonna be Zion to her. He ain't gonna never be Zaya or whatever they named her. And I support her, and I respect that about her.
So, what's your take on making sure, or what's your take on having both parents in a child's life?
I think that's essential to the development of the child to have both parents. Not of both parents of different genders. Just like we touched on earlier, like both parents are essential because they bring two different things to the table. In order for you to become whole, you got to be with the other gender. That's the only way to do this. So both parents got to show that to the child. The child is only gonna do what they see, what they learn, and you know how they grow up. They're gonna emulate what they know growing up. And when they veer off, you're supposed to correct them. If you standing up for what you believe in, if you got that kind of union, he married to a woman. Why wouldn't he want his son to do the same thing? And impart and try to impart that on his child. You know, even if the child do decide to go the opposite direction or a different direction when they get older, that's cool. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. But now you're at the proper age where you can do that. Both parents, man, that's. Because I didn't have both parents, you know, and, you know, shout out to my dad. Me and him cool now. You know, we got a good relationship now, but I ain't have him growing up. And my dad was in the service. He went to college. He had a good job, but I didn't know none of that until I was grown. I was an older, more mature person when I found that out. Had I known that growing up, maybe I would have wanted to go to the service or go to college. But me not having that around me, I wanted to do what people around me was doing.
I mean, do you think that was because, I mean, why do you think it took so long for you to even know this?
I think I really, as I got older, I started to understand that really a lot of people don't have knowledge of being, of doing, taking on the responsibility of a child. You know, and my mama had me when she was 15.
Okay.
So she didn't really know. She was in 10th grade.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So she didn't really know. My dad was a little bit older, but he was doing his thing, running the streets or whatever. So I don't really fault them. You know what I'm saying? I understand that, you know, I came from that, and it hurt me growing up, and I kind of was bitter about it for a long time until I got grown and understood, like, some people just don't have that knowledge to do what they supposed to do, or they run from it, or they scared of it, and don't have the support to help them in it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I say, when I do a study on history, it was a whole community helping each other raise the kids. It wasn't just we in this house and they over there and we don't know the next door neighbor and all that stuff. Everybody knew each other, so it was much more easier for you to raise your kids because everybody kind of on the same accord. But nowadays, the house in disarray, both parents working, 9, 10, 11 hours a day, kids pretty much social media and phones raising them. So where you think your structure gonna come from? You know what I'm saying? You gotta, and that comes from our lack of knowledge as a community because we don't have financial literacy. You know what I'm saying? We don't know how to save our money. We don't know how to shop with each other, and that go in. That's one of the things that go into people or fathers being able to do their job well. Yeah. If they got the resources to do it well. If I ain't got no car, I can't go pick my daughter up from school. Okay. So I can't. So in that sense, I can't pick my daughter up from school. Now her mama mad at me. Now I'm a deadbeat because I don't have a car. Yeah. You know, and that trend continue in different situations, and it create what we got now with kids killing each other or jumping people at the grocery store. There's no supervision, no guidance in the community as a whole. Because I think if I see some kids jumping somebody at the grocery store, they got to jump me too. Yeah. No, because I'm going to go over there and like, nah, y'all wrong. I don't care because somebody got to stand up. Yeah. Everybody can't just look the other way and be like, well, they ain't my kids. No, they are your kids. If you're going to accept their responsibility and call yourself a father, them your kids too. Yeah. You need to go over there and check them too. Yeah. If I see a kid walking in my neighborhood with a gun and I don't say nothing and he killed my mama, I'm wrong too because I could have said something. Yeah. So I think it's everybody's responsibility to help the community grow or get back to where we unified and together, and the money staying in our community 13, 14 times like it's staying in the Jewish community instead of 6, 7 seconds like it's doing now. So when you don't have resources, it's hard for you to be who you're supposed to be. Yeah.
So what do you think we can do as a whole to get back, to get to that point? What are some steps that we could use to get there?
Me personally, because I follow principles and I grew up Christian, I just follow what Jesus do. It ain't your words, it's your action. So I need to be the change that I want to see everybody else doing.
Yeah.
I can't even ask you to do nothing if I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
So I got to start out by doing it myself. And that's where this come in there. And then me doing it, somebody else will see it, or somebody else gravitate to it, they start doing it. And it started a trend because we didn't get in this position overnight. So it ain't going to be overnight us getting out of it.
Yeah.
It's going to take work. It's going to take progress. And I don't want to be I ain't nobody saved.
Yeah.
But I got enough knowledge and I got enough understanding of what's going on to where I can help us build back up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? I don't need no whole crowd. Like, people always ask me, why you don't go into church and do this? No, because I'm not a performer. I'm serious about the community change. And I don't want no $1 million home and all that. If I got $1 million, I want 30 houses in the community for all of us.
Yeah.
And all of us can have something to build off of. We can start growing us some food over here. We ain't got to shop at Kroger and get bananas from Honduras.
Yeah.
We can grow our own food.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If we come together and do what we supposed to do, but if everybody want to wear Jordans, it's gonna be hard for us to get back to that.
And we know they love their Jordan.
Yeah, and don't want to work. You know what I'm saying? They want all the expensive stuff.
And be the first ones in line.
First ones in line.
Rent not paid. Car note due.
No financial literacy.
No food in the refrigerator.
No food, but
they gonna make them Jordans. They got them Jordans though.
Yeah, somebody. I was in federal prison with Warren Buffett. I mean, not Warren Buffett, but Bernie Madoff, the Ponzi scheme guy. He ended up Ponzi scheming people out of over $1 billion or whatever. One thing he said to me at the little short amount of time that I did see him, he said, the people in your community want to look like they got some money. We got it.
Yeah.
I don't care what I got on.
Yeah.
But I know when I go to the ATM, I can get something out.
Yeah.
I ain't got to worry about my kids' college. I ain't got to worry about where our next meal gonna come from. I got something set back for hard times, and we just build and we share the information. When I first came home, I took my wife and the kids to Bellevue Baptist. I had been corresponding with them while I was in prison, telling them what I had going on, what I planned to do, and all that. So when I got out, I went and actually we started going and really, I ain't gonna say we was joining, but we was going through the process. I just wanted them to see the process of how different it is in their church and in our community churches. So when I went in there, they put us in this class to see where our strengths are and where our weaknesses are. And according to that, they put you in these life classes. So before you go to big church, you go to life church. Okay. And they talk about building and your family and how to about banking and saving money. This all in the life class inside the church. Yeah. Then you go to big church and worship after all this learning that you're doing. It's actually school. Yeah. And they sharing it with each other. So when you look around their church, they community looking good over there. We got 17 churches in one neighborhood, and the whole cans everywhere, trash everywhere, the kids home.
You talking about over there? You ain't talking about 3rd Street, is it? We got about, I think it's about 13 to 17 in one big huge circle, and I just don't understand that at all. That you got so many churches making money, and every house is messed up, the street tore up. But yet, they got somebody, the churches are full almost every other day of the week.
Exactly. And you say you the intercessor. You say you standing in for the man. You standing in for the creator. You getting the word and you giving it to us, and you ain't doing what he doing. You ain't taking care of the people. The words ain't, you can say, I always ask people this, how long it take you to graduate from high school? Most people go on 17, 18 years. You've been going to church 50 years with one book, and they ain't prospered with that one book yet. So what are they teaching you out of that book that's making you stay in your position? They not teaching you what this book really means, because you reap what you sow, and all those principles matter. If I do good, the energy gonna come back to me. You know, we all the same energy. it's only one God, one Creator, and all us living off that one energy that He has. So if we use it right, positive, it's gonna come back like that. You're gonna reap what you sow. You're gonna get all the blessings and all that, but you gotta put the work in.
Yeah.
You can't be doing wrong and think you're gonna get a good blessing from it. No, it don't work like that.
Yeah, you're right.
You can't act like you know Father, and then when the stuff hit the fan, you ain't nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
No,
And you know,
can't do
and
that.
that's crazy that you say that, because there are a lot of men out there that do that. They will do things for their kids and then post it all over social media like, oh, I just do everything all year round, just to find out it was just that one moment.
Yeah, that one moment. Yeah. No, this life. See, me and my daughter, we ain't talked in a minute since her birthday, I think, and she haven't been over my oldest daughter. She haven't been over to my house in probably a little bit over a year. And sometimes I be feeling kind of bad about it, but I have to remember that this life I'm doing with her. This ain't just today.
Yeah.
So she might be feeling a certain way right now, but she'll come back around, and I got to beat her when she do come back around. I can't be getting my feelings and be like, nah, I don't care about. No, whenever she get ready, she can be the prodigal daughter. Come on back. I'm right here waiting on you. Whatever you want to talk about, whatever we got to discuss, whatever we got to do to get our relationship to where it needs to be, I'm right here. I ain't going nowhere. I'm standing on this.
Yeah. So, dealing with your business, where do you see yourself, let's say, in the next 5 years?
I see like a different type of community. Like when I look on social media now and I see some of the guys, I see their kids. Their kids on a roll, some of them going to college, they into these activities, and the guys there with them doing their activities. That's what I see in 5 years. Families growing up and being there with each other and having that family structure again. You know, my little cousin, she's about to get married. I'm actually going to be in her wedding. And her fiance is one of the first guys that I started talking to when I came home about, you know, what I had going on. Actually, he the first person I gave the Father of the Month award to.
Oh, okay.
And during that time, I seen them go. I gave him the award because he always been taking care, you know, doing what he was supposed to do. And I told him, I ain't give you the award because you're doing that.
Yeah.
I'm just giving you this award because the stereotype is that we don't do this.
Yeah.
So I'm just showing people that and since that day, when I first gave it to him, I know I've seen at least 50 guys turn around, start going over there being with their kids. That's the most important thing to me. I don't care about nobody recognizing what I'm doing or what I'm trying to do. I don't care about none of that. The only thing I care about is rebuilding our community and putting that family structure back together and showing what's real. When they had Black Wall Street, the whole city was owned by black people.
Yeah.
They had all the businesses over there. They was getting more money than any big corporate business that we got out here now. At the time where the money was, you know, how the money was valued at the time, they was getting more money than anybody.
Yeah.
That's a black community. Don't you know them people that was in Tulsa, Oklahoma, came from here in Memphis?
Yeah.
When they had to ride in Memphis, they went and moved to Tulsa.
Yeah.
You got that spirit in you right here, right now. Why you not using it?
Yeah.
Now, if you looking at me, you gonna see me using it. You're gonna have to go on about your business.
I see the boots on the ground.
Yes, sir. At all times. You
Yeah.
know, if I see somebody anywhere that needs some assistance from me, they got it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now, if you just standing out there big and with a sign out, you can't get nothing because you're not doing what you're supposed to do.
We got a lot of them, and it's like it's a permanent job. Same people every day. Every day for the last 5 years, I've probably seen the same person, same corner, every other day.
And the principle I stand on said, prayer without works is dead.
Yeah.
And you can stand over there answering all you want to, but if you ain't doing nothing, I can't give it to you.
You right.
You know, and that's them, like I said, I stand on all my principles. I just don't follow around these dudes that's taking the money out the community, using it for selfish reasons.
And it's a lot of them, and we're gonna make sure we touch bases on those when we have our first segment about the church, as well as when we have our first segment about a man's view. We're gonna touch points on that. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna go more in depth in that. But I do appreciate you coming out, being the first guest on the show. Can you tell the people how they can reach you?
Oh yeah, y'all can reach me on Facebook, Fathers. Every letter got a period behind it because it's an acronym. On Instagram at Fathers1. I got a website also. It's www.fathersorganization without the N at wixsite.com.
Okay.
You know, we're going to keep it moving. We're going to keep it positive, man. We're going to keep
Now,
it.
I was getting feedback about people wanting to join the page, and I know that it's only invite only. So what can we do, or what are we gonna try to work on when it comes to how they can follow your page?
I'm as soon as the segment ends, I'm gonna go in and change the settings on it so people will be able to join.
Okay.
You know, just without me having to approve you to join. You just come on, join in, and if you come in and you got some mess going on, I'm gonna kick you right on in. You can't stay in.
Yeah, you heard what he said. So we're looking for positive people to come in and show their support, especially fathers. If you know that you're doing what you're supposed to do, you know that you love the children, you support the children, you're hardworking, you're getting up every morning, you're grinding, you're doing what it takes to do what it takes. That's what he wants. And like you say, you're working on those houses.
Yeah, we working on the houses. We got a deal going on at East Memphis Auto Center on Summer where we help fathers get cars. If you don't have a car, we can kind of help get a car financed. They got mostly new cars there. If you working and you ain't got to have good credit. They don't run credit checks, but you have to be working. You have to have residence to be able to get a car. We got that going on. I also got a couple of temp services that I work with. If you're looking for jobs or whatever, you got your forklift license and stuff like that. Even if you don't have your forklift license, I got another guy that help people get their forklift license and have job placement. He also starting to do CDL right now too. So we got a few resources going on, but I'm working on building my resources up so I can provide more for like people who need drug rehab, high school diploma, stuff like that. So we're trying to build it up from where we at and get these resources together so we all can step up and be who we supposed to be.
So as you can see, this is not just fun and games. We're actually trying to get out and do things in the community and get people out there, get people engaged, get people supporting one another, and actually getting people jobs, getting people transportation, getting people financially stable. But you have to want it. If you don't want it, there's no reason to join. You can't expect something to fall in your lap and there it is and pick it up. No, you have to get out there. You got to grind. You got to hustle. You got to show people that this is what you want so you can go and get it. So I do appreciate you giving that feedback. Also, as well, you can expect to see an episode every Wednesday at 8 o'clock. Come see me. Come talk with me. I have many things in the works. I'll be keeping you all updated every single day. Don't hesitate to leave a comment. Don't hesitate to share. Don't hesitate to do anything. Message me. Contact me. Reach me. I'm working on some segments as we speak. I'm looking for people just like you all to reach me, to contact me so that you can be part of those different segments. You're going to love it. I promise you. You're going to be seeing some of them real soon. You can also reach me at YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram at Emperor Runs Media. Just type it in, copy it, paste it. You can see it on the screen below. You should be seeing it right now. Look down there. You should be seeing it, and I want you to click on it. I want you to share this page. I want you to like it. Tell your friends about it. There is more coming. More just like this. More people like Detrick coming to the show to talk about what he's doing, to talk about what he's trying to give back to the community, because that's what we want to do here at Emperor Runs Media. So thank you for coming out to the show. I appreciate you all watching. I will see you all next Wednesday at 8 o'clock. Be ready. Thank you.